The news moves fast, and so do you. So take the news with you. You can scan the code right here to download the Fox 5 News app now. Inside the app, hit the Watch Live button to stream Fox 5 News wherever you are. Get alerts for the biggest stories and the latest news headlines, weather coverage, sports breakdowns, even I-Team investigations. So what are you waiting for? Scan the code now and take the news with you. Download the Fox 5 News app now.
From Fox 5 News, this is Good Day Atlanta at 10 a.m.
Good morning and welcome to Good Day Atlanta at 10, our special webcast edition as the World Cup airs on Fox 5. I'm Natalie McCann.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. I'm Joanne Feldman.
And I'm Sharon Lawson. Here's what's coming up this hour. And as you get ready to prepare your Thanksgiving meals, you want to make sure that you are properly preparing your food. We'll chat with a food safety expert about the steps you can take to prevent foodborne illnesses.
Plus, when you're feeling under the weather, what is your go-to movie genre? We're going to talk about why most people say rom-coms are the remedy for a sick day, and this.
I can't tell you how many times people have told me to give up, quit, die even. That's why you can't always do what you're told.
Well, the cast of the new movie Devotion discussed their depiction of an unsung war hero in the film, which hits theaters tomorrow. But first, let's get a look at this morning's top stories with Good Day's Elise Edie. Elise, good morning.
Ladies, good morning. And we are getting some new information about an officer-involved shooting at a DeKalb County gas station. This happened late last night at the Shell on Covington Highway. And since then, we've learned one man was shot and killed by officers. Good Day's Mark Teichner spoke with witnesses who say they heard the gunshots.
According to the GBI, DeKalb County Police were at the Shell station you see behind me investigating a murder when a man started shooting at them. They returned fire, killing him. During the overnight hours, we spoke with a woman who witnessed that original murder.
We heard some gunshots.
Terry Maltzby, her daughter, and two friends drove right by the shooting. It was around 8:30 Monday night, and at first they all thought the gunshots were fireworks.
But the shots continued, and we instantly realized that it was gunshots. It was about 10 to 15 gunshots that we heard go off.
As they passed a vehicle on Wellborn Road near the Covington Highway intersection, the women saw muzzle flashes coming from inside the car.
It was like flashes of light if someone was using a Polaroid camera type of flash, high flash, coming from inside of the vehicle. You can hear the shots from the vehicle. You can see the flash from the vehicle. Somebody opened the door, and you can instantly see smoke coming out of that vehicle.
Maltzby, who was sitting in the back seat, took cover to make sure she didn't get hit by a stray bullet.
Everybody else in the car, except for the driver, was trying to duck down low. The driver was trying to be cautious, but also not have an accident trying to go past the car.
Maltzby then called 911. She tells us the car had a pink lift light. DeKalb County Police confirmed this was an officer shooting and say the investigation's been turned over to the GBI.
With 10 to 15 shots, we don't know who all was in there or not, but we were just praying that whoever was in there will be okay.
Tragically, that turned out not to be the case. This morning, we spoke with a woman who says she is friends with that Lyft driver and that she was actually on the phone with the Lyft driver when the shooting occurred. She says that someone was upset at the passenger, started shooting, and ended up killing the Lyft driver by mistake. Her name has not yet been released. When we do get that information, we'll let you know. Reporting from DeKalb County, I'm Mark Teichner for Good Day Atlanta.
Well, the city of Atlanta has agreed to pay the estate of Rayshard Brooks $1 million. It follows a lawsuit by Brooks's widow, Tamika Miller, in the 2020 officer-involved shooting. Back in 2020, Rayshard Brooks was shot and killed outside of a Wendy's while officers tried to arrest him, sparking nationwide protest. Earlier this year, attorneys told Fox 5 the case should have gone to a grand jury.
All we're asking is that the community resolves these situations when it's a close call.
Well, back in August, prosecutors determined the two officers tied to the deadly shooting would not face charges. The city agreed to pay Miller, but they say the settlement does not admit guilt. Well, a judge sentenced reality TV stars Todd and Julie Chrisley to a combined 19 years in prison for fraud and tax evasion. A jury convicted them on several charges earlier this year. U.S. District Judge Eleanor Ross gave Todd Chrisley 12 years in prison. Julie Chrisley received 7 years. They'll both serve 16 months probation as well. They must turn themselves in to begin their prison sentences January 15th. Now, a decision about the future of Chrisley's reality shows has not been announced just yet. A deadly shooting outside a Chick-fil-A and disputes that escalated to gunfire at 3 other businesses. That's just a few of the crimes officers have responded to along the MLK Drive corridor since August, and people in the community are fed up about it. They're now turning to each other for crime-fighting solutions. Good Day's Brooke Zahner is live at police headquarters with more on the plan. Brooke, good morning.
Good morning to you, Elise. And APD says that crime is actually down on this end of town, but people in the area, as you mentioned, really frustrated. They say that data is all relative, considering they witness violent crimes nearly every day.
Very disheartening.
Community members in Atlanta's West End came together Monday night to speak out against violent crime.
We don't want to see one child killed, one young possible leader to be left on the street.
In just the last month in Southwest Atlanta, we've reported on several violent crimes. That includes a police shooting that killed a man, a shooting that sent a KFC employee to the hospital, and a deadly shooting at a Chick-fil-A. APD's Zone 1 commander says that's in addition to 5 car break-ins, 3 aggravated assaults, 3 robberies, and a burglary in the last 28 days. Police say crime is down 28% along the MLK Jr. Drive corridor from this same time last year. But business owners in the area say business is also down because of the crime.
And they've sent some bicycle cops and some foot beat cops. But we also understand that they don't have the resources to be 24 hours on this street.
The MLK Merchants Association hopes to raise money to pay off-duty police to patrol the area when on-duty police aren't there. The association is also calling on larger corporate businesses to chip in. One Atlanta City Councilman is also working with Georgia Power to add more lighting to the area too.
So when you have a dark street, you have the criminal element that begins to hang out and prey on those that are in the dark.
Now, Georgia Power says it is actively working to fix broken or damaged lighting in that area. And police are also encouraging business owners, people in that area, to get registered with Connect Atlanta. That's a new public safety program. That's the latest here in Northwest Atlanta. I'm Brooke Zahner for Good Day Atlanta. Elise.
All right, Brooke, thank you. New this morning, airports and airlines are expecting the busiest Thanksgiving travel season in 3 years. In fact, according to AAA, 55 million Americans will be traveling this year. Travel's increased as a result of loosened restrictions in the past year. And while Wednesday is generally the busiest day for travel for the Thanksgiving holiday, the option to work from home for many Americans allows for more flexibility, and it may actually ease pressure for airlines and airports. Those are some of the stories we're following. Ladies and Buck, I'll send it back over to you.
All right, Elise, thank you so much. Well, the time now is 10:07 and Buck is here for Let's Talk. This one's going to be fun. We're going to play a Thanksgiving edition of This or That. All right.
Okay.
So
we're
going to show some options on the screen, and we're going to discuss which one we would pick out of each of these. All right. So the first one. When is the best time to eat your Thanksgiving meal? Early afternoon or a little later?
Early. Yes.
Yes.
That's unanimous. I think I'm going early because then you can have time. You have time to digest a little bit and have some more later, right?
Of course. I've been trying to get that point across to my mother-in-law for years. We want the leftovers later.
I mean, I guess the downside is you have less time to prepare because you have to have the food ready earlier. So I guess that's why some people may prefer later. But I prefer doing it twice.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Maybe 3 times.
All right. Host Thanksgiving or attend a Thanksgiving gathering?
Attend.
100%. It's too much pressure.
I can't choose. I like both.
Really? I'm going to do. Yeah. We'll all go to Joanne's.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's perfect for us.
That's awesome.
And you'll be so
I won't be
excited to
there.
have
I'll
us.
be attending somebody else's. But come on over.
Why are you tough on that?
Because I've done both. We usually attend, but the few times that we've hosted, I don't know. I have no explanation for it. I enjoy the hosting. I don't do it very often.
Yeah.
And so there's just, the time I did it, I felt very capable. I was like, wait, I actually can do this
So you
if
didn't
I have to.
stress out over it.
I did, but I
still,
pulled it off.
it was a good stress.
I pulled it off. All right.
That's a good feeling.
So here's the next one. Cook the food or clean up?
Cook.
100%.
I used to be a cleanup because I couldn't cook, so I had to jump in and volunteer. Since I didn't cook the food, I'll help you clean it up. But now that I've got some cooking skills, I'd rather cook and have somebody else clean up.
it just seems like it's never ending. Whenever you have to clean up, I mean, it just seems like you've gotten to the point where everything is gone, and then
there's more.
And then there's more, and you're like, who brought where was that?
I guess it depends how many people are coming too.
Yeah.
You
So
know.
which
Clean up I think I'm more clean
Yes,
up, but we do. Everybody brings, so we kind of do both.
Okay.
But yeah, I think if I had to choose one or the other, it would be clean up, unless it's 50 or 75 people there or something like that. I don't want to clean up after that.
Yeah.
But
Do you cook or clean up?
what?
Right?
You do one or the other?
He does neither.
Daggers.
I was it was just a question.
Yeah, but the way you delivered it, Natalie, I don't know.
Oh my gosh, you're sensitive.
He's very sensitive.
Was Natalie me
He's a
or was she
very
not me? This or
sensitive-
that?
This or that. How about this one? Turkey or ham?
Both.
Ham.
Turkey, but we have both.
Yeah, I think I have to go both too, because there's going to be both on my plate. So
Yeah.
that's one. It's hard. I can't do a this or that.
No, I can't either. I just have
So
to go with
we
both.
failed on that one. Let's move on to the next
Oh, I know
one.
this one.
Yes, Cyber Monday or Black Friday?
Cyber Monday.
Yes.
All day long.
Cyber
I don't want
Monday.
to deal with crowds. I just don't want any of that. I don't want to have to deal with the parking situation. Just let me sit on my couch, go on my phone.
Click, click, click.
Right? That's
But you
all
can do that
need
on Black
to do.
Friday now too, probably, and get most of the same deals, right? So
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Black Friday's not what it used to be, but I don't think Cyber Monday is what it used to be either. They've kind of
Yeah.
blended into each other a little bit, I think.
Yeah, there's so many people who made like a tradition out of the camping out for Black
Ugh,
Friday. That
sure, yeah.
never appealed to me.
Just
the
love the,
slightest.
oh my goodness, yeah. We would cover it.
It's going to be raining
We'll be
too
doing
this
it
time,
again
right?
this
So if
year.
you're camped out at Best Buy, you're going to be doing it
You're
in the
gonna
rain.
be wet. You're gonna be wet. All right. So after eating, would you rather play games or watch movies?
I'm going to play games because you're probably with some family that you don't spend a lot of time with, and so I think you play something that's interactive and enjoy each other's company rather than all staring at a movie screen. Although that's a good option too.
Yeah,
if I have to choose, I'll go play games.
We watch movies, but I was actually just shopping a little earlier for a game, hoping that I could get the family interested in playing a game this year.
that'd
We'll
be
see.
fun.
I feel like the movies, when you're watching it, it just basically starts watching you. It's just kind of like background noise.
And then
when
you're
you have
full,
all
so
the
it's nap
family.
time too, because you fall asleep because you're so
That
full,
as well.
right?
That as well.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the games are fun, but at that point, I don't know, movies. I mean, we've already talked for so long and hung out all day.
And you're in the food coma.
It's good to just, have some downtime.
Sure.
Hang out. Okay. All right, our next topic. Okay. Speaking of movies, what do you like to watch when you're sick at home? According to a recent survey, 3 in 5 Americans say rom-coms are their go-to movie genre when they're sick, and the average person watches about 5 hours of TV or movies when they are feeling ill. So 23% usually pick old favorites rather than starting something new. So what's your go-to show or movie or genre when you're under the weather?
It would definitely have to be an old favorite.
Yeah.
Something comforting that you don't have to pay a lot of attention to
So
because you
true.
already know how it's going to go. Probably a romantic comedy, but back in the day, when you were sick on a school day, it was The Price is
Oh
Right.
yeah, Bob Barker.
Yeah,
my
hands
goodness.
He
down.
was a
Forget
legend.
movies, it was Price
Used to
is
love-
Right.
Come on down. Yeah.
I'd probably be a rom-com.
Well, back in the day, also, you couldn't choose which one to watch
Right.
as much. You had to watch
true.
the Three Stooges or whatever was on, the Superstation at the time.
And The Price is Right was
and
the best
Price is Right,
option.
yeah, a lot of times that was. But now you can go to Netflix and pick something, or you maybe
So
HBO
many
Max or whatever
choices.
you have. There's so many options. So I just kind of flip around until I see something I like. There's no particular genre or whatever. Kind of tickles my fancy right then, I guess.
Not tickles your fancy.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to have my fancy tickled.
Why? Why do we have to go there?
And why? But why is this just on a webcast? That needed to go out to the world.
Everyone needed this.
It's going to live forever on the internet, Joanne. Don't worry.
Can we just get that clip and just play it out there?
We need
Oh
that
my
clip.
God. Wow.
That
Okay,
happened.
that did happen. And I just can't get that vision out of my head.
You're welcome. Happy Thanksgiving, Sharon.
10:13 is now the time. Oh, wow.
Oh my.
Coming up, Mariah Carey's Christmas Rain has begun. People have already started putting her hit holiday song on their playlist. But first, we are talking food safety for the Thanksgiving holiday. We'll hear some tips on how you can prevent getting people sick because of unprepared food. And later tonight on Fox 5, a repeat episode of The Resident at 8, followed by Monarch at 9. ultimate feast this Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. And whether you are roasting or frying, dry brine or wet brine, the turkey is sure to be the centerpiece that your guests will devour along with all the fixings. So how do you prepare your meal safely and avoid from making your guests sick? USDA expert Karen Hunter joins us now with some tips for a food safe Thanksgiving. Carrie, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Morning.
Good morning. There's so much room here for some mistakes to take place. But you've got some tips on, how to make sure that your food is prepared safely, starting with to safely stuff the turkey. How do you do that?
Sure. So one of the concerns with stuffing a turkey is that you increase your likelihood of cross-contamination, and you also increase the cooking time for your turkey. So USDA actually recommends against stuffing the turkey, and instead we recommend preparing it in a separate casserole dish in the oven next to it. However, if that's something that's really important to you and you're not going to let that go, what we recommend doing is stuffing the bird right before you put it in the oven, and that way it can be stuffed right before, and it's not sitting in the juices inside the turkey in the fridge with potential bacteria in there. Okay. And then what we recommend, as far as making sure that it's safe, we do recommend cooking the turkey and then checking the temperature in 3 places. So the innermost part of the wing and the thigh and the thickest part of the breast. And then if you stuff it, you also want to add a 4th place, and that's in the center of that stuffing. And you're looking for a temperature of 165 to ensure that it's safe.
And when you're preparing the turkey, right before preparing it actually, a lot of people are mixed on this, whether they should wash the turkey or not wash the turkey. What do you say?
So you actually don't have to wash the turkey. And sometimes that's counterintuitive. What we find though is that washing poultry, so especially a larger bird like a turkey, you do increase your likelihood of cross-contamination around your sink area in the kitchen. It's very difficult to rinse off something of that size and not have water droplets, which then may potentially have bacteria in them, get around your sink and the countertops around it. And then what can happen is then if you use those same countertops to prepare, say, a salad or vegetables, something that's not going to be cooked first, you do run the risk of transferring any bacteria or pathogens from that turkey onto the fresh vegetables. And that's where you really see that uptick in foodborne illness.
Okay, I get that. That makes a lot of sense. Well, how do you safely serve the food to family and friends?
So what's important to remember when you're serving food, particularly if you're going to have folks over for a while, for an extended period of time, is to think about what we call the danger zone. And that's the temperature range between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're putting out appetizers beforehand, making sure that cold foods stay cold. So a fresh vegetable tray, you could think about putting that on a bed of ice to keep it chilled. And then if you're serving things that are warmer, consider using chafing dishes or slow cookers. And then once you serve your food, keep an eye on the clock and count 2 hours. So 2 hours is about the safe range for things to be out at room temperature before you want to start putting them back away into the fridge for leftovers.
And speaking of leftovers, that's the thing that all of us love. So how long can you keep your Thanksgiving leftovers? How long does that last? And how should you store them?
Sure. So leftovers are the best part. I'm a big fan. If you're eating on Thanksgiving Day, on Thursday, we give you 4 days. So if you're eating on Thanksgiving Day, you can still be eating those leftovers. Try to wrap them up by Monday. That's going to be your window of time. If you don't think you're going to eat everything by Monday, you can put things into the freezer. About 6 months is what we say for from a food quality perspective. So making sure that things still taste good. From a food safety perspective, you can keep them indefinitely in the freezer. One would hope that you would still want to eat those sooner rather than later, just for an enjoyment purpose. When you are at the end of that 2-hour window after your meal, though, you want to think about portioning things into smaller sizes so that they do cool down quickly in the refrigerator. So you don't want to put the whole turkey back in. You want to carve it off the bones first and put the meat in the fridge. And the same thing with, say, your sides. So if you have any stuffing left over or mashed potatoes, you want to make sure that your fridge can cool those down properly. So putting them in smaller containers is the safe way to do that.
And Karen, really quickly too, one final question. How do you safely transport your food?
Again, keeping in mind that danger zone. So you want to keep cold foods cold and hot foods hot. So if you are going somewhere, think about how long it's going to take you to get there. If you can use something like a slow cooker with a tight lid on it, Or if it's possible, depending on where you're going, bringing something that you can then cook at your destination. So then you would keep it chilled on the ride there and then cook it when you get there. You can always bring your thermometer with you. I think it's the most underrated kitchen tool.
So true. Karen Hunter with the USDA, thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing some safety tips for Thanksgiving.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Appreciate it. And you can get more food and safety tips from the USDA on Twitter at USDA Food Safety. Well, still ahead, singer and actress Brandy is reprising her iconic role as Cinderella for a new group of young Disney fans. Details next in entertainment news.
If you have an Amazon Alexa-enabled device in your home, ask her to enable the Fox 5 Atlanta skill so you can get local updates anytime straight from Fox 5.
In entertainment news, it's a sign that the holiday season is here. Mariah Carey's hit holiday song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, is now back on the Billboard Hot 100 list. The song re-entered the Hot 100 at number 25 with 14 million streams recently. And if you don't remember how old the song is, it was originally released back in 1994. It's such a classic.
It really is.
I love it.
Well, another iconic singer is stepping back into her glass slippers. Brandy first played Cinderella back in the 1997 film Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, and now she will play the iconic princess again in the upcoming Disney film The Pocket Watch. The musical will be a part of the popular Descendants franchise. Other notable actors are joining the cast, including Rita Ora, China Ann McClain, and Ruby Rose, just to name a few.
I refuse to believe that was 1997 and Mariah Carey was 1994.
I know.
Okay. So 10-time Grammy winner Shaka Khan wants people to walk with her while she tells inspirational stories. Apple announced Monday that she will be part of a new audio experience called Time to Walk. The series is designed to help people walk more. In the 32-minute episode, she will reflect on her past and walk listeners through moments in her life. Khan is among the nearly 70 high-profile guests who have shared their stories on the project.
Well, DJ Khaled is giving sneaker fans a chance to sleep inside a recreation of his legendary sneaker closet in Miami. Wow, that's impressive. The Airbnb will be available for $11. It's a nod to the music mogul's shoe size. The stay includes an exclusive pair of We the Best Air Jordan 5s, a handwritten note from him when you get there, the keys to the ultimate sneaker kingdom, an outdoor lounge, and a private shopping session at a Miami sneaker store. Booking requests open Tuesday, November 29th at 1 p.m.
Well, it has been chilly here in the south, but nothing like the snowstorm parts of the north are experiencing right now. Good Day's Ron Gant is here with the video you just got to see. Ron.
Yeah, this will make you really happy that you do live down here in the south. There was so much heavy snowfall in Erie County, New York, that a travel ban was actually put in place. Now, when it was lifted yesterday, some drivers were so excited to get back on the road with minimal effort. Now, take a look at this. Video from West Seneca Police Department shows crews working to actually clear out all the streets of more than 6 feet of snow. And you could see at least one driver was very anxious to get going. The truck that they're driving still had snow piled up over the top of the roof, and actually one side, the driver's side of the windshield, actually cleared so he could get going. So he couldn't wait to get the snow off the top of and it was so much snow, off the top of that pickup truck. I guess he was in a hurry and decided just to clear out the windshield on the driver's side and get going. But look at all that snow. There were some shots where you could see the snow was piled halfway up to some of the lights and street signs. That's how much snow there was.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
I've driven up that way, like on the way to Niagara Falls in the wintertime, and the way they have to pile up the snow, you're driving down the road and it's just like walls of snow.
Yeah.
If you're claustrophobic, it's really freaky.
Oh my
It's really freaky.
Yeah, how can you drive like that though? I mean, look at, you can't see out the side, the back. I mean, it's just the windshield on the driver's side. That's it.
There you're right. People are just.
I'd be panicky trying to drive like that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing folks doing stuff like that when I lived up north. It was just like, nah, I got to get to where I'm going. And then the thing is, they start driving and the snow starts falling
Yeah,
off.
so it starts flying. Could be
like,
dangerous
really
as well.
dangerous.
Yeah. But they're just like, yeah, this is what we do.
Yeah.
This is what we do.
Wow, that is a lot of snow.
It is. All right, Ron, thank you.
Okay.
And why we live here.
Right,
Exactly.
there you go.
The time right now is 10:31. Let's check in with Good Day's Paul Milliken to see what he is working on this morning. Paul?
I'm mad, Joanne. I'm really angry right now. We're live outside the Atlanta Ronald McDonald House, very close to the Fox 5 studios. And all morning, I've been excited to drive the BMW. And as you see, that's not happening. I'm in the back seat. And then I thought Skylar was going to drive, and we were excited about that. And then somehow Sebastian ended up in the driver's seat. What did you just call this, Skylar?
It's the plot twist of the century.
It is. No one knew this was coming. And now I'm stuck back here, and they're fighting over the radio. And I have no control over the music. So we'll see what happens. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Come up, find some Mariah Carey. Come on, let's get All I Want.
Welcome back to Good Day Atlanta. No matter what city you're in, the Ronald McDonald House provides a home away from home for families of sick and injured children being cared for at nearby hospitals.
And here in Atlanta, there's a unique way to support Ronald McDonald House charities as we head into the holiday season.
Good Day Atlanta's Paul Milliken is live at the Ronald McDonald House on Gatewood Road this morning. And Paul, Thanksgiving, a very special time there, but what's going on?
You seem upset.
I got booted. Now I got booted from the car. I mean,
There's
at least
another
I was
plot
in the back
twist,
seat. Now
right?
I'm not even in anymore. They were like, Paul, get out of here. Now somehow Skylar ended up back in the driver's seat again. His brother, we don't know what he's doing back there. He's got the door open. He's coming. He's going. You asked, are you ready to drive or do you want me to drive you somewhere?
I'll drive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. That was a very fast answer. Where should we go? Where do you
The
want
VR place.
Oh, he wants to go play some virtual reality. So that's what we're going to do after this TV segment. First, though, got to talk about this amazing place, the Ronald McDonald House. We're at the one on Gatewood Road here. As you know, and as you just said, it provides a home away from home for families like the Douds who are having way too much fun in this BMW, which could be yours. So right now, for the 15th year, there's a BMW raffle going on. For $100, you buy a ticket, and this could be yours. And Victor will be very happy to hand it off. Victor Souza, great to see you. How
Great
are
to see you, Paul. Great.
They look pretty good in the BMW, huh?
They do.
Yeah.
I can't wait for them to turn 18 to really drive it.
I know, right? Yeah, well, I don't know. We might be a little afraid to be in the back. We'll have to decide on that.
It should be adventurous.
Yeah, okay, well, let's talk about this. You guys have partnered up. You at BMW have partnered with Ronald McDonald House Charities for a long time now. Talk about the partnership and why that's important to you guys.
Yeah, so the partnership has been going on for about 15 years now, and we're running up to $2.5 million in sales, and we've helped over 20,000 families so far.
Unbelievable. That's amazing. And you said before you guys came and spent some time here, helped out a little bit. What's it like being around the house and seeing the impact that you're having?
It's just a wonderful feeling, to see the impact that you have on these families and what we could contribute.
Yeah.
It's speechless.
Yeah. Okay, so the raffle's a really fun way for people to help out the charity, to give money, but also maybe get something really good in return. So again, if you buy your ticket now for $100, you will be entered into the raffle. The drawing is in December, right?
The drawing's in December, but the tickets go on sale until November 30th.
Right, so you've got about a week left to buy your tickets. And winners will get to choose between, I think, 3 models.
Yeah, it's one of 3 models. So an X3, like you see this right here.
Yeah.
A 4 Series as well, and also the BMW i4, which is a fully electric model that we have with BMW.
Wow. Well, tell me about this model here. What kind of makes this unique and special?
So this is a 2022 X3. It has an all-wheel drive system. It has the premium package, so you have all your goodies. And in case you like hugging the turns a little tight, which I heard you do, it also has a sport package. It gives you the extra suspension that needed for that.
That's good. That's good. I don't need you calling out my driving skills, but I appreciate you letting me know. So again, how fun is it? I mean, you were talking about the drawing last year, being there and seeing the person who gave $100 to this charity and then walked away with a car. It's got to be awesome.
It's a great feeling. It really is. But more importantly, knowing that we're doing it for a great cause and for the families that we were able to help is even better.
Yeah, before I let you go, I've heard this rumor that you're acquainted with one of our anchors. Do you want to say hi to her back there?
Hey, Sharon.
Sharon Lawson, always got to find ways to be part of you're trying to take over my life. All right, let me have the BMW, Sharon.
Man.
Me.
Hey,
not you. This is actually, it's not my BMW. It's their BMW. So what, have you found some music yet? We're looking for some Christmas music.
Holly Jolly.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Wait, say that again. What did you just say?
I know how to start the engine.
We are in trouble. Okay, Victor, you are never seeing this BMW again. They're about to head off to play some. In fact, let me jump in. I don't want them to go without me. So if the engine's going to start, I'm going. Oh, you want me to drive? No, you want me to drive.
Get out.
All right, well, we'll decide who's going to drive. Okay, I think I'm not welcome on the trip, but it's fine. I'm just going to hang out back here and hope things go well for me.
Good luck. Good luck to you.
I'm not sure that they know what they're doing.
And Victor, one of the best GMs out there, too. Just saying.
Yeah. Trying to steal my BMW, Sharon.
Well, the last day to purchase tickets for the BMW raffle is next Wednesday, November 30th. We'll put a link to more information on our website. Just look for the story under the Good Days section. Well, in case you haven't heard, the World Cup is underway, and you can watch it right over on Fox 5.
And our DJ Shockley recently spent time at the Atlanta United training grounds in Marietta with goalkeeper Brad Guzan.
They talked about the games and some not so familiar terms that they use. Take a listen.
For a guy like myself who is, still learning the game of soccer, I'm sure there are a lot of people who are going to be watching the World Cup and they hear these terms, they hear all these different stuff being thrown out.
For sure.
I got a couple terms I want to throw at you.
All right,
I want you to explain them to me. I got like 3 or 4 of them. All right.
Let's do it.
Start with an easy one that I heard is pretty easy.
Okay.
What does it mean to brace? What is a brace?
A brace?
A brace.
Now you got me nervous because I feel like I should know.
I hear hat trick is.
Yeah, a brace is 2.
Okay, there we go. Easy.
I believe. I'm not going to trick you.
Yeah,
but listen, I'm on the defensive side. You know what I mean? So I'm not worried about scoring. I'm worried about saving the ball. Well, I'm certain that a brace is bagging 2 goals.
All right, tell me, people hear the term "park the bus."
Park the bus. See, this is more my forte. On the defensive side, basically when you got 11 guys behind the ball, no longer really trying to attack, they park the bus. They've set up 11 guys in front of the goal, and we're playing more defensive. They limit the space behind them, limit the space between the players, and it becomes a lot more difficult to try and break them down.
All right, so when I looked up this term, I asked a couple people, I was like, what do you think of this? And they was like, oh, Brad's had plenty of these. What does it mean to have a clean sheet?
I tell you what.
That gets you excited with that.
I like that. See, now we're talking my language. The clean sheet shutout. And the U.S. is certainly going to need a few of those, especially in the group stages to enhance their opportunity to be able to get into the knockaround. So to be able to keep a clean sheet means to keep a shutout.
All right, 3 for 3. Last one. Here we go. What is a sitter?
A what?
Sitter.
A sitter.
Yeah,
a sitter. We're not talking babysitter here. No. We're talking basically the ball's rolling across the front of the goal. Can't miss it.
Okay.
I mean, you've got to try to miss the goal at this point.
Okay.
But a sitter is basically you would think the easiest of all opportunities when it comes to goal scoring. Basically 2-3 yards out from the goal, just put in the back of the net, run off to the corner flag, celebrate with everyone.
Bragg is in 4 for 4. My man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
World Cup coming. I appreciate you, man.
Definitely, for sure.
And here's a look at what's coming up in today's World Cup coverage. Mexico takes on Poland at 10:45. France takes on Australia at 1:45, and you can watch both of them right here on Fox 5. Well, coming up, fans are sending well wishes to Sinbad after his family announced he's learning to walk again after suffering a stroke. Well, we know about his condition. But first, an update on the dispute involving Chris Brown and the recent American Music Awards ceremony. Entertainment journalist Crystal Jordan joins us with a statement from the show's production company. That's next. Singer Chris Brown says the American Music Awards pulled the plug last minute on a Michael Jackson tribute. He was set to perform at the show this weekend, and he just isn't sure why it got canceled. And joining me now, rolling out magazines, Crystal Jordan. Crystal, happy early Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you. Same to you. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Yeah. Okay. So he went to Instagram posting a video of him rehearsing one of his songs, and then he transitioned into one of Michael Jackson's songs, and he wrote "You Serious" is how it kind of all got started.
Yeah, that's how it started. Well, you could tell he was really discouraged. I mean, obviously, I think if you've been living under a rock, you don't realize that Chris Brown obviously idolizes Michael Jackson and has always, done tributes. But this was supposed to be special. It was the 40th anniversary of Thriller, and obviously he had been putting in a lot of time himself and Jamaica Craft, world-class choreographer right here from Atlanta, working on this, and it was canceled at the last minute without explanation. So of course, Chris Brown did not show up for the awards, and fans are looking like, what is happening? Because people were really looking forward to this tribute. This was like the culmination of Chris Brown's career. He's been doing really well with sales. He's got an album that's out doing well. Actually won Best Male R&B Performance. And so obviously fans were really disappointed, as was Chris himself. Also Sierra, we learned that Sierra was supposed to be a part of that tribute, and more footage was leaked of her actually performing. And Sierra, again, an Atlanta native, amazing. They would have ripped that performance. So fans started, complaining. Chris Brown posts the clips. Sierra posted clips, the choreographer. So Dick Clark Productions, who's actually responsible for the production for the American Music Awards, did release a statement yesterday. And they said that there was no fault to Chris Brown, no fault to anyone. That particular element of the American Music Awards just did not come into alignment. And so they had to make a change, and that happens all the time. But I just want to say, I don't think they're going to have to say a little bit more than that. Chris Brown went on to post his view on his Instagram received 11 million views, while the American Music Awards on Sunday night had 3.3 million viewers that tuned in. So the suggestion is they missed out on a great opportunity with that performance.
I'm so glad you brought that up. That was an interesting tidbit as well, to see how many views that he got on the video himself compared to what the AMAs got. And we haven't specifically heard from the AMAs, but I think you're right. We're going to have to hear a little bit more, because he definitely seems upset, and we didn't see any sort of tribute at all.
Not at all. And I think, there's also been speculation that because that performance was so amazing with Chris and Sierra, and who knows what other surprises there were, perhaps another award show could pick up the performance, and fans would get a chance to see it. However, the clock is ticking, because this is the 40th anniversary for Thriller, so they would have to figure out how to do that in a way that would make sense. But hopefully the fans will get a chance to see some of that.
All right, Crystal, thanks so much, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Same to you.
And you can keep up with Crystal Jordan on Instagram at EnchantedPR. Still to come, good news about Jay Leno after he suffered that serious burn in an accident. We're going to tell you how he's doing when we come back.
Recovery after suffering a stroke 2 years ago. The 66-year-old comedian spent 9 months in the hospital before being released last year. His family released a statement that he is now in the process of learning to walk again. In 2020, a blood clot traveled from his heart to his brain, and according to the statement, survival rates for this type of stroke are roughly 30%, and they call Sinbad's progress, quote, nothing short of remarkable. The family has also launched a fund to raise money for his recovery.
Prayers going out to him. And Jay Leno has been released from the hospital after receiving third-degree burns in his California garage. He had multiple surgeries on his face and hands after flames broke out while he was working on one of his vehicles earlier this month. He also received burns to his upper body. Now, the hospital shared this photo of the comedian smiling alongside his caretakers. Leno required the use of a hyperbaric chamber to help provide better blood flow and decrease the bacteria. His doctor says he expects Leno to make a full recovery. We hope he does too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, country superstar Miranda Lambert is releasing her first cookbook. Y'all Eat Yet will feature recipes passed down by her mom, her grandma, and her mother's close friends. It's also going to include stories about her life off stage, on her farm, on the road, and more. The book will be available April 25th.
The saga of the Scandinavian warriors will continue in the new year. Netflix announced season 2 of its hit historical drama, Vikings Valhalla, will premiere January 12th. The streamer also released first look photos from the upcoming episodes. The show chronicles the legendary adventures of some of the most famous Vikings who ever lived.
Oh, that looks good.
Well, the time right now is 10:55, and we are back with our pet of the day after this. Here is our pet of the day, Dahlia.
Aww.
She is 5 years old, a sweet girl who enjoys watching her favorite movie, Madagascar. Reach out to Best Friends Animal Society in Atlanta if you want to know more about Dahlia. All of the shelter pets go home free through the end of the year.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for Good Day Atlanta. Stay connected to Fox 5 around the clock and like our Fox 5 Atlanta Facebook page.
Also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Fox 5 Atlanta.